welcome everyone. Now I know how to get everyone to a PTSO meeting. I really appreciate you guys coming here and learning a little bit more about the learning options that we're going to offer starting next school year. And we definitely want to be able to take your questions, and we're going to wait till the very end to do so. But if you can jot those down during this presentation, we're going to try to answer as many as we can. But first and foremost, I want to ask all of you this question. This is a question that I ask myself with my own children, and that's simply, what skills do you want your children to learn in high school that's going to make them successful when they move on? Whether it be in the workforce, whether it's in college, the military. But honestly, I just want you to take a minute or so just to think about what skills you'd like for them to learn here at Mayfield High School. We're going to touch base on this momentarily. And I apologize, I like to move around. I have lots of energy and I can't sit still. So, every year since 2014, we've been sending a survey out to all of our recent graduates. And we do this every November. And the reason that we do it in November is because we want to be able to give the students that graduated some time to learn something different than high school. But at the same point in time, we then want their honest feedback about what their experience was like here at Mayfield. So, one of the questions that we ask them is, what do you find the most challenging about the post-secondary level? And overwhelmingly, you'll see the students' response is about time management. So I'm not going to sit here and read every single one of these to you, but time management without anyone around to tell you what to do or when to do it. Learning how to budget time and excel among more competitive peers and more challenging courses. Again, more about time management, and it's simply, if you could give the current Mayfield High School students one piece of advice about preparing for post-high school life, what would it be? And this is always my favorite. Again, overwhelmingly, it's always about time management. And it's difficult because in high school, we know that kids aren't ready for life after high school. We're not ready to just completely make them independent and move on. But we have to be able to provide them those soft skills to be successful when they leave here. So even the independence, where they talk about getting used to studying more and doing more independent work than high school typically requires you to do. So I asked you the question, what would you like your children to be able to take away from Mayfield High School that's going to make them successful? Anyone want to share?
Follow through.
Follow through. Critical thinker.
How to manage stress.
How to manage stress, absolutely. Any others? Priorities. Prioritize.
Problem solving.
Problem solving. Organization.
Emotional intelligence.
Emotional intelligence. Absolutely. I would agree with every single one of you. But I didn't hear any of you say good at social studies or history or good at math, good at art. And so what we did is, as a district, we came up with what we wanted the portrait of a graduate to look like. And every single one of the skills that you talked about is exactly what I think almost every parent wants for their child. They want them to be able to think critically, to problem solve, to be creative, to communicate, to collaborate, to be able to have that social and emotional balance. Because the times when you and I grew up are much different than our own children. There are a lot of stresses in their lives. The problem is, that's our challenge. I wish I had the answers. So how do we educate our students to learn? So we have to cover our content standards, just like any school. But then how do we teach them those soft skills along the way? And how could we do that so that we could personalize it for every child? especially when we have classes of 25 students to one teacher, sometimes 28 students to one teacher. So the ideal situation, and this is what research tells us, that if we could pair up a student's learning style with their interest level, the type of courses that they want to take, they're going to thrive. They're going to excel and they're going to achieve at high levels. And so this is why we came up with what we would call our personalized learning options. We're going to offer 4 different learning options next school year. The first, and one that we're all comfortable with, is a traditional model. We're going to offer the traditional model no matter what class a student is going to take, with the exception of 2, but I'll share those with you. But we're also going to offer self-paced, an online, and a cross-curricular approach as well. Not for every class, but again, I'll share those courses with you towards the end. So really our purpose, and this is really important because this is what we're all going to make sure that we spend the majority of our time making sure happens. This is an institution that values individuality. And I want to stress that. We do not live in a world where everyone learns at the same rate at the same time. Kids are different, and that's okay to treat them different. But we value individuality, choice, and the whole child. It's our responsibility. And when I say ours, the teachers here at Mayfield High School, it's our responsibility to meet the needs of all students by providing instruction using a customized approach. This form of customization will allow our students to choose a learning modality that best meets their academic needs, to achieve at their highest level while developing the soft skills necessary to be successful in a global society. These soft skills include critical thinking, communication, collaboration, organization, motivation, and time management. Our students will develop these critical skills through authentic learning experiences, which will require students to research, create, collaborate, and develop a plan to solve real-world problems. And overall, we just want to make them well-rounded. We want them to be better individuals when they leave here at Mayfield. And that's a lot, but that's what our goal is for your children from the time they start here in 9th grade to the time that they graduate. So the questions, I know all of you are here, is I want to know more about these options. Now with the traditional model, it's the same as it is right now. Kids are meeting in school every day. Teachers are still developing their best practices. They're still here for help. But the self-paced is a little different. So with the self-paced, again, when you have 25 kids in a classroom, not every student learns exactly the same. Some kids may need more help, while others are ready to move on, but the teacher can't necessarily move on because there are others that need help. So with this self-paced model, the student truly is in control of their pace. The teacher is going to identify which days of the week those students are going to be mandated to be there. So it could be Tuesday, Thursday. It could be Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So during the times that the students are in class, it's going to be similar to a traditional model where the teachers will still be delivering some direct instruction, maybe some labs, some assessments, but all the kids will be meeting together at the same time. On the non-mandated days, and I know that this is the question that everyone has, on the non-mandated days, it does not mean that the students are not welcome to class. The teacher will be there to be able to provide more individualized and small group instruction. So let's say you have a class of 25 students, and 8 students are really struggling with solving one variable equations. Well, those 8 students could then meet with the teacher, and the teacher could provide a mini lesson and in a more individualized approach. Where the other 17 students may not necessarily need to go to class that day, They could go to our media center, our senior commons, to our alumni commons, or any one of our other open spaces. And the students will be able to continue their learning using a learning management system, which we are going to have. The teachers are going to create these learning management systems. And what it's going to look like is like Facebook. It's going to be Facebook, but for your class. And within this learning management system, the students are going to have videos to watch that the teachers create, screencasts, worksheets for them to help deepen their understanding of the knowledge. Anything that you could think of that a teacher would normally have in their class will be uploaded into this learning management system. You will be able to have all this information much easier than you do now with Google Classroom. Because I know right now, some of you aren't able to get in your child's Google Classroom and really be able to see what they are doing, when things are due. You will be able to with this learning management system. If a student is scoring below 70% cumulatively, they are going to have to attend class every day. We have to make sure that we have some safeguards for the kids because, again, they're still kids. But we still want them to be able to learn self-regulation, time management, this organization. But overall, the self-paced approach is about allowing teachers to differentiate their instruction and to be able to provide more small group and individual attention, more one-on-one time. Again, heavy and soft skills. That's one of the things that we're aiming at. The question is, can students finish the course before the end of the year? And the answer would be yes. If it's self-paced, why not? If a student is able to learn all of the content standards and master it, why can't they be done with it and extend their learning within that class? Go above and beyond. Maybe they could start the next course. We don't want to hold them back. Online. So online is very similar to the self-paced. So when we say online, the learning is not going to be from a third-party source. The teacher is creating the class and using the learning management system so that the students will just go into this learning management system, see what their deadlines are, they're going to see what assignments are due, have resources for support. But what's different here is that the students only have to go to class 1 day per week. And that will be at the discretion of the teacher. So again, this is for more independent students, and we have students like this right now. These modalities may not be for every student, and we understand that. We're trying to customize it for all the different students here at Mayfield High School. Questions about flexibility. We have students right now that can't take courses because they're in band, 8th period, or because they're in Excel Tech. Well, what if they're now able to take an online or a self-paced course and be able to search those for their passion? Unfortunately, our schedule does not allow that right now, but with this, it can. Cross-curricular. This is one of my favorites.
With the online one, it's still the 70% or below?
Correct. With the online, thank you, it's still 70% or below. We still have that safeguard. With the cross-curricular, right now, students learn everything in isolation. U.S. history, English, Algebra 1. Well, what if we're able to find a natural connection between some of these courses and the students could learn the same course at the same time, sharing the content standards? And that's exactly what this cross-curricular is. We don't want to teach things in isolation. We want to be able to have that organic and that authentic learning environment. With these, I want to share you the courses that we're going to be offering next year. We are going to have 34 course offerings between self-paced, online, and cross-curricular. That makes up about 24% of our overall course offerings. So I know, I apologize if you can't see in the back. I'm going to make sure that I post this, my slides. I will send them out to everyone through Infinite Campus tomorrow. Courses offered online. So DMP is Digital Media Productions, Tech Squad, and Information Technology. I will tell you that Tech Squad is the only class that I know of right now that is only going to be offered in the online approach, because that's really what they're doing right now. Courses offered cross-curricularly. We have creative writing and digital photo, honors U.S. history and English 1 honors, math 4 and physics, food and fitness and PE, AP World History and English 2 honors. Now, I know that we don't have these offerings for every single course, but next year is the first year. Things are going to continue to grow, and we're going to get better at everything that we do, but we will be able to offer more courses starting in 2019 and 20. So this is just a start.